Mississippi House of Representatives is now in session. Please let the House come to order. Please stand as we're led in prayer today by the gentleman from Bolivar. There he comes. Remain standing there for the pledge. This is my friend Bailey right here, who called us to order. Bailey is the granddaughter of our newly elected member, Mr. Perry Bailey. Where'd he go? There he is over there. He took Jim Beckett's place. We're about to swear him in here in a second. So we're proud to have his granddaughter here today who was able to bang that gavel with authority. We're glad to have you, Bailey. You stand right there.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thought this little cutie here was going to pray with me today. But anyway, she's beside me, so shall we pray? Father God, we come at this hour to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to assemble. And most of all, thank you for allowing your darling son to go to the cross for our unworthy sins. Father, we're just grateful right now to be able to continue to do the business of this great state. Thank you for all the things that you've bestowed upon us. Thank you for the members who've given us time and sacrifices away from their families. Thank you for the speaker. Thank you for the pro tem. Thank you for all the people who's joined us today to see us do the business of this state. These blessings, all blessings, we ask in thy son Jesus' name. Amen. You join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, sir. Thank you. All right, I'm going to ask the members to be seated while we proceed with the swearing in of Mr. Bailey. We want him to be able to register his attendance today as well. So if you would, please be seated and give us your attention. I'm going to ask Mr. Bailey and his wife, Deanne, and his family to join me on the podium, please. Please give us your attention. Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. I, Perry Bailey, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Mississippi, that I am not disqualified from holding office by the Constitution of this state, that I will faithfully discharge my duties as a legislator, that I will, as soon as practicable hereafter, carefully read the Constitution of this state, and will endeavor to know, and as a legislator to execute all the requirements thereof imposed on the legislature. And I will not vote for any measure or person because of a promise of any other member of this legislature to vote for any measure or person, or as a means of influencing him or them so to do. So help me God. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, I want Perry the opportunity to introduce his family members who are here with him today. So please give him your attention.
This is quite an honor. This is my family. Bailey Monaghan. What's your name? Britton Bailey. Sorry. Bailey Monaghan, Britton Bailey, Lance Bacher, Grady Bacher, Lacey Bacher, Britt Bailey, my wife Tyann Bailey, and I'm Perry Bailey. Oh yes, my sister Ann is sitting down here, and my daddy Lewis, and I got another sister right here, Mitzi. And a cousin, Ben Subert. Scratch that last thing, I didn't say that.
Give us a few minutes while we take a few pictures. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Has everyone voted? Who had to reprogram the machine? Willie Bailey and Perry Bailey. Already did? Oh, I see him, yeah. You got Willie Bailey, you got everybody. Close the machine, Madam Clerk.
There's a quorum present, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We'll have the reading of the journal. Gentleman from Rankin moves we dispense with the reading of the journal. All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Report of select committees.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
Report of standing committees.
We have reports on the calendar, Mr. Speaker.
Introductions of bills and constitutional amendments. Gentleman from Marion, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to dispense with the reading of the introductions.
Is there objection? Hearing none, we will do that. Resolutions, petitions, memorials, and other favors.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, this time we'll have introductions of guests and visitors. My computer screen is blank, so if you have a guest, please stand up and seek recognition. Okay. Gentleman from Octavia Hall, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Have an announcement. Is Latavia Williams and Denavius, are they in the gallery, South Gallery? Raise your hands, please. Help me welcome these two young people, Mississippi Valley State students, mass communication majors, and something tells me that they're game changers. So let's wish them well when they graduate. Thank you so much.
Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please help make welcome the only woman other than my mother that I am truly afraid of, Miss Mary Crump. Please stand.
Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Banks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, the city of Jackson has one great person over tourism. That's Mr. Ricky Thickpen in the South Gallery. So, Ricky, help me make him welcome, please. Thank you for all the things you do for our tourism department, metro area.
Jim from Holmes, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, in the House in the South Gallery, we have a gentleman from Holmes County. He wears a lot of hats. He's here today with Valley. He was also my 10th grade geometry teacher, Mr. Leroy Riley. Let's welcome him to the Capitol.
Jim from Bolivar, Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If all of you look on your desk, I think you saw those nice looking bags there, and in case you had a problem with distinguishing it, let me just tell you that says Mississippi Valley State University. So once again, we're thankful for these goodies that they presented to us as a body, and we just want to thank them on the behalf of our alumni.
Jim from Hines, Mr. Brown.
Thank you very kindly, Mr. Speaker. Representative Chris Bell stole my thunder. I was going to introduce Ricky Thickpen, a young man over our Tourist and Visitors Bureau, as well as Dr. Mary Crump, one of my great constituents, and they all are from the home of Willie Satellite Totten and Jerry World Rice.
Jim from Warren, Mr. Denton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll turn your attention to the South Gallery, we have one of the best Valley graduates up there. He hails from the great city of Vicksburg, Mr. Charlie Tolliver.
Jim from Wayne, Mr. Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you will, everybody help me welcome a constituent that traveled all the way from Waynesboro to help represent Mississippi Valley State today, Mr. Joe McFadden.
Gentleman from Union, Mr. Creekmore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like for everybody to welcome all the way from Red Hill, Mississippi, Mr. Henry Cobb in the South Gallery.
Gentleman from Montgomery, Mr. Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, if you would help me in the South Gallery. We have with us today the mayor of the city of Duck Hill, Mississippi. If you would, Mr. White, if you would please stand, Mr. Al White. Help make him welcome. Thank you.
Gentleman from Washington, Mr. Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Washington County delegation, we'd like to ask the House to help make welcome a true Washington Countyan, Ms. Shirley Anderson, who also, I think she was in the North Gallery, but please help make her welcome.
All right, I don't see any further introductions. At this time, I'm going to introduce our head page, Jennifer Fleming, to come forward and introduce our pages for the week. I would like for the pages to stand, please, and be recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our pages of the week. Reagan Anthony, Amaya Cobb, Kaylin Gladvin, Chastity Watkins, Raiden Davis, Cage Pickett, Ariel Reed, Asa Reed, McKenna Jones, Jaden Winstead, Christian Macklin, Sarah Jeffcoff, Lindsay Rayborn, Hudson Wallingsworth, Braden Overby, Garrett Gilbert, and Trip Hancock.
Thank you, Pages. We appreciate your service to us this week. All right, this time, ladies and gentlemen, we have two very special guests that we want to recognize, and I would like for you to take your seats and give us your attention, please. We're very honored today to have these two special guests. The first one I'm going to recognize a gentleman from Tishomingo, Representative Carpenter, who will introduce our special guest, and I'm going to ask the Sergeant at Arms to bring the special guest to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you're a member of the Military Affairs Committee and you want to join us on the podium, feel free to come on. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members, ladies and gentlemen of the House. Today we have a special guest that we're going to honor, two special guests we're going to honor. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Major General Dirk Boyles, the Adjutant General of the Mississippi National Guard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just so everyone knows who we have with us today, you are presenting a resolution to memorialize the 10-year anniversary of the Mississippi National Guard's relationship with Uzbekistan. That is a military relationship that goes beyond that. It also includes agricultural, academic, and economic relationships also. I have with me today from Washington, D.C., Ambassador Yavlan Vahabov, and he is the Uzbek ambassador to the United States of America. His Deputy Chief of Mission, Amir Sakhanov, is also with him today, and we'd like to recognize them and let you know that they're here with us. I also have with us Colonel Chuck Cannon, who's over against the wall over here. This relationship, we try to meet the needs of the active component, and so CENTCOM oversees the relationships between the states and their partners in the CENTCOM area. And so Chuck Cannon is here with us today to represent CENTCOM and ARCENT, the Army leg of that. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, General Boyles. I think, Madam Clerk, want to read a portion of the resolution, please?
Whereas the Mississippi National Guard and the Republic of Uzbekistan entered into a formal partnership in 2012, and over the span of 10 years, the Mississippi National Guard and Uzbekistan have conducted over 200 events together, to include 68 subject matter expert exchanges, 44 key leader engagements, 51 bilateral conferences, and multiple partnerships between Mississippi universities and Uzbek agencies and institutions of higher learning. And whereas in 2019, the Governor of Mississippi, the Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce, and the Adjutant General of Mississippi escorted a military and trade delegation to Uzbekistan to discuss further opportunities for partnering with the Mississippi National Guard and the Republic of Uzbekistan. And whereas the President of Uzbekistan and several other high-level officials and ministers of government have pledged their support and commitment to Mississippi and the Mississippi National Guard. And whereas a sister city agreement was signed by the mayor of Clinton, Mississippi, and the mayor of Zarafshan, Uzbekistan. And whereas for 4 consecutive years since 2019, the Ministry of Defense and the Republic of Uzbekistan has participated in the exercise Southern Strike, a tactical level exercise integrating conventional, allied, and special operation forces, which operates across multiple domains throughout the southeastern United States, maximizing combat readiness through integrated, tailored, joint, and coalition scenarios based on current global crisis, and encourages decentralized execution, allowing a high degree of mission command from planning through execution. And whereas Uzbekistan soldiers have competed shoulder to shoulder with Mississippi National Guardsmen in the Best Warrior competition for 3 years, and won overall in 2020 and 2022, in addition to winning the International Division in 2021. And whereas 5 special operation training events have been conducted between the 2nd Battalion, 20th Special Forces Group Airborne, and whereas in 2021, where 24 Uzbekistan soldiers participated in an airborne operation alongside members of the 2nd Battalion, 20th Special Forces Group Airborne, From the Mississippi National Guard, it was the first time Uzbek and Mississippi Special Operation Forces conducted joint airborne operations, a monumental occasion observed by the Chief of the National Guard Bureau and the Director of the Air National Guard. And whereas in 2022, the Mississippi National Guard was awarded Partnership of the Year runner-up by the Chief of the National Guard Bureau for its partnership with the Republic of Uzbekistan. And whereas it is the policy of the House of Representatives to encourage and support the establishment of partnerships in furtherance of international diplomacy and protections of the liberties of democracy. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the State of Mississippi that we do hereby commend and congratulate the Mississippi National Guard and the Republic of Uzbekistan on 10 years of successful partnership, and expressed our greatest hopes and aspiration for continued expansion of diplomacy and success in the years ahead.
Mr. Speaker, dear distinguished members of the House, just taking this opportunity, I would like to extend on behalf of the Uzbekistan government my gratitude to all of you for your steadfast support for Uzbekistan-Mississippi partnership. As you might be aware, almost 10 years passed since the U.S. Defense Department has made a decision to designate the Mississippi National Guard as an official partner to the Uzbekistan's Defense Ministry. And over the last years, a great deal of work has been done in terms of enhancing our bilaterals towards stronger meal-to-meal cooperation, towards deeper business and educational partnership. I greatly thankful to everyone who has been staying with us over the last years together, and remain very much hopeful to more and more accomplishments with the state of Mississippi. Thank you very much.
I'd like to also recognize Amanda Villaret. This partnership with Uzbekistan is a robust, nationally recognized program, and what's interesting about these programs is that you remember when we had Ebola, Speaker, Liberia didn't call the White House, they didn't call the Pentagon for help. They called the state of Michigan, who they had a partnership with. And so we have reached that level of partnership with Uzbekistan during COVID, even, Mr. Ambassador. We worked with Uzbekistan because they saw what we were doing and asked for our help and how we were doing what we were doing with COVID. So the relationship is truly a close relationship, and we hope to continue that. Amanda Villaret, who's on the wall also with the RCENT Colonel, she manages this program for the Mississippi National Guard. And so, Amanda, thank you for all your hard work in making this relationship successful. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we now have a second special guest. I'm going to recognize the gentleman from Bolivar, Mr. Sanders. for our next special guest, and I'm going to ask the Sergeant at Arms to escort our next special guest to the podium.
At this time, I'd like to ask gentleman from Washington, gentleman from Sunflower, gentleman from Tallahatchie to come up. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, it's indeed a pleasure to introduce our next guest, which he's no guest. You know, this is my own president. You know, when I had a distinct opportunity to introduce my president, you know, I felt real proud to represent Hines. I told him, I said, Holloway, look, I got a chance to introduce my own today. So all of us today is a very special day. Today is a day that I get a chance to talk a little bit about Mississippi Valley State University. The school that has been, when I say an oasis of the Delta, it's been a jewel to me because it gave me an opportunity to come to school and get an education. And the good part about it is they told me you go to school, you get you an education and give back to your community. So all these things that I was told, I'm trying to exemplify. And today is a good day to introduce the staff and the people that make up Mississippi Valley State University, along with our leaders. So at this time, I won't prolong it because I know I can talk, but I'll give us our leader, Mr. Gerald Briggs, our president.
First, let me thank Representative Sanders for that introduction. Mr. Speaker, members of the Mississippi House of Representatives, again, I am Dr. Gerald Briggs, the blessed 8th president of Mississippi Valley State University. And I stand before you today with some representatives from the university here with me that I would like to introduce. We have Mr. Jerry Redmond, our National Alumni Association president. We have Mr. Russell Brooks, the National Alumni Association Legislative Committee chairperson. We have Miss Essence Baggett, our current Miss Mississippi Valley State University. Mr. Emmanuel Asakwa, our current Mr. Mississippi Valley State University. And Mr. Kewan Meeks, our current Student Government Association president. But I would be remiss if I didn't also announce we have several alumni and friends here representing Mississippi Valley State University as well. And on behalf of all of us, I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you for your continued love, support, and encouragement for our university. It really, really means a lot. But I also like to take an opportunity to announce and also acknowledge our alumni who are part of the House of Representatives. Representative John Hines, I should have said your name last. Representative Brian Clark. And Representative Robert Sanders. But I also like to acknowledge our district representative, Representative Solomon Osborne. So real briefly, as we continue to move the university forward, we're going to continue to live that 8-word vision I'm sure you all have heard before. Those 8 words are one goal, one team, one valley, in motion. In motion. That one goal speaks about student success. Everything that we do at the university is geared towards our students being successful. That one team is university and community stakeholders, all of us here today working together. That one valley is school pride, second to none. Folks, we love us some Mississippi Valley State University. We really do. And in motion is really more than just those words. It really talks about us being strategic in our growth and our success and our opportunities to continue to build our university. And I want to give you all a quick few examples of being in motion. I think that everyone, I don't know if you all remember, we started a partnership with FedEx in 2019. And we're going into that 4th year of that partnership. And still today, we are the only university, not just here in the state of Mississippi, not just in the United States. We are the only university in the world to have a FedEx Logistics customs brokerage operation on a college campus today. And they employ about 40 of our students, and that's just a tremendous partnership that we have. Another thing that's important, last year we received the largest single gift, private gift in our university's history, when we received a $2.5 million anonymous donation to support our scholarship efforts. The important thing about that is we don't know who the donor is, but I had the opportunity to talk to the donor's representative, and I asked the question, why did you all select us? And they said, we selected Mississippi Valley State University because we've been following y'all. And we like what we see. We like where the university is going. We like the leadership. We like the students. We like everything that this university has meant to so many. That's why we got that gift. So just another tremendous opportunity for us. We know this past year, the last couple of years, coming out of COVID, there's been a national enrollment crisis. Enrollment challenges at most universities in our country. Not just the state here in Mississippi. But I'm proud to announce this spring, compared to last spring, our enrollment is actually up. So it says that we are doing right, we're moving, we're growing, and doing everything again to assure our university's health and sustainability. Lastly, I want to just talk a little bit about that return on investment. How do students select a university? They look at the academic profile and they look at if that university is going to provide them a return on that investment. Well, let me just give you the results of a recent study. A study was done by the UNCF a few years ago, and the results came out last year. What this study looked at, it looked at the percentage, it first looked at what was called the access rate. The access rate was the percentage of students who were at that university during that time that came from a household with a combined family income of less than $45,000. And they gave a percentage of the students at that time. The number one university that had the most students who fit into that category was at 75%. 75% of the students came from a household making less than $45,000 a year. Who was number one? Mississippi Valley State University. But then, right? Okay. But then what did they do? They looked at now what's called a mobility rate. They looked at those graduates and they determined now what percentage of those graduates are now considered in middle class or above. Again, we were number one as far as access. Were we as far as mobility? Now, most people would say if you're number one as far as access, you're probably down to the bottom as far as mobility. Folks, we're number 8. Number 8 in this nation. So what does that say? It says that there is a return on that investment. That degree from Mississippi Valley State University matters. It matters. It shows that that degree has helped our graduates propel their lives and their careers more so than other graduates at other schools. So we're just so proud of those accomplishments that we have. And so when we talk about, again, being in motion, that's what we mean. Really assuring that our university continues to grow, build, and be sustainable and successful. And I know we couldn't do that today if it wasn't for all of us here today. So we thank you for that. Now, at this time, I'd like to ask our SGA president, Mr. Kiwan Meeks, to just come up and give a brief comment about what Mississippi Valley State University has meant to him as a current student. Kiwan.
We have an obligation and a responsibility to be investing in our students and our schools. We must make sure that people who have the grades, the desire, and the will, but not the money, can still get the best education possible. Barack Obama. Greetings. I am Kiwan Meeks, a senior scholar, double majoring in government and politics and pre-law at the Immaculate Institution of Mississippi Valley State University. And I currently serve in the capacity of Student Government Association President for the 2022-2023 academic year. I value this opportunity to stand before you as a representative of Mississippi Valley State University's student body. And on this day, you are invited to be a partaker of this breathtaking ceremony, celebratory moment as we advocate on behalf of our institution. This day is one of great importance for our university as we look to build on so many great academic, athletic, and cultural opportunities that our institution offers. And it is imperative that we have events such as this when we're talking about the importance of higher education here in the great state of Mississippi. It is as equally imperative that we recognize the importance of higher education in the Mississippi Delta. And as students at Mississippi Valley State University, we are looking to build on the foundations that our alumni set for us. And that involves being innovative thinkers. However, we need your help to do that. We are asking each of you to consider the needs of Mississippi Valley State University. Thank you.
We're going to take a few photographs. Give us a few minutes. All right, we will go now to the calendar. Motion to reconsider calendar. Passes. Rules calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman recognized.
If we could go to HCR number 35. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Ole Miss baseball team commend for winning the 2022 NCAA. It's
Item number 2.
Item number 2.
All right, any questions on this resolution? I don't see any. Open the machine. Hold on. I don't think that's the right one. All right, open the machine, Madam Clerk. Question occurs on HCR 35. You favor the resolution, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 114 yeas, 0 nays, resolution passes. Next item.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We go to item number 3, HR number 48. This is a resolution commending the Mississippi Horse Park for winning the 2022 Justin Boots Best Footing Award.
Any questions on this resolution? I don't see any. If you favor the resolution, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Anything further, gentlemen?
Mr. Speaker, if we could go to the following, the rest of the calendar for rules, which is all SCRs, item number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. These are also SCRs commending and having resolutions for different items.
Does anyone wish to have one of these items set aside? All right, I don't see any. Any questions on these resolutions? I don't see any. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the resolutions, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Everyone voted. Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 117 yeas and 0 nays, the resolutions are adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I'd ask that these have an immediate release.
Any objection to immediate release? Hearing none, we will do that. Next comes the appropriations calendar. Pass. All right. That's all we got. I'm informed that the gentleman from Sunflower, Mr. Anthony, requests a point of personal privilege. I would ask that you give him your attention, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If one of the porters would help me with.
I think he needs help with that item right there.
Mr. Speaker, if it's okay, if I could ask the gentleman from Hines if he would come and stand with me.
Gentleman from Hines, Mr.
Representative
Bell,
Bell.
your presence is requested at the front of the chamber, sir. Please come forward.
Mr. Speaker and ladies and gentlemen of this distinguished body, the gentlelady from Madison authored a very sweet bill, affectionately known as the Blueberry Bill. It passed this House unanimously, except with one lone nay vote. If I'm not mistaken, the Speaker coined it a sour nay vote. And first published in 1940 and performed by Gene Autry, but later popularized by the legendary Antoine Fats Domino when he found his thrill on Blueberry Hill. He said, the moon stood still on Blueberry Hill and lingered until his dream came true. So, ladies and gentlemen of this body, and on behalf of the lovers of blueberries and the Willie Bozeman group of blueberry connoisseurs, we would like to present the gentleman from Hines, Representative Chris the Lone Blueberry Bell, this presentation. Everything blueberry. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Announcements, Mr. Clerk. Announcements, Madam Clerk.
There will be local and private full committee meeting 5 minutes after adjournment today in room 103.
Announcements by the members. Lady from DeSoto, Ms. McRae.
Introduction out of order.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like on my gallery on my left to introduce Mr. and Mrs. McLeman. Would you please stand up? These are the grandparents of my pager for the week, Kristen. They drove all the way from Oklahoma to support their grandson. Let's give them a hand.
Gentleman from Benton, Mr. Massengill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, in the morning at 7:30 at the Mississippi Museum of Arts is a legislative scrambler from MEC, and our very own Chairman of Transportation, Charles Busby, will be speaking. Everyone invited.
Gentleman from Clark, Mr. Smith.
Speaker, adjourn member, please.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to close today in honor of Miss Shannon Lee Roper Mott. She died at the age of 47 with cancer and left behind a beautiful family, girl and boy, and a loving husband.
Thank you, sir. We'll do that. Gentleman from Lafayette, Mr. DeWeese.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've been asked to remind everybody, yesterday you should have received an invitation on your desk inviting you to BIPAC's annual luncheon tomorrow at the Old Capitol Inn. It's a come and go reception from 11:30 to 1. BIPAC members and business leaders from all over the state will be there, so please stop by tomorrow at the Old Capitol Inn.
Gentleman from Octavia Hall, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We'll have a short rules meeting 30 minutes after adjournment. Short rules meeting 30 minutes after adjournment.
Gentleman from Pearl River, Mr. Owen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Adjourn in memory. Yesterday, little Owen Creel passed away from Poplarville. His little life defied all odds, but he passed away at 1 year old yesterday, so I'd like the House to adjourn in memory for him.
Thank you, sir. We'll do that. Gentleman from Scott, Mr. Miles.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you will join me and the gentleman from Newton in journeying in memory of one of our deputy sheriffs from Scott County, Deputy Julian Parker. He died, lost his battle with cancer last night, but he's finally healed. He's a great guy from Scott
We'll do
County.
that. Any further announcements? I don't see any. Recognize the gentleman from Octavia Hall for the motion.
I move this House stand adjourned until 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Motion is to adjourn until 2 p.m. All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. House adjourned to 2 p.m. tomorrow.